Hi, good evening, and a very warm welcome to all of you in today's webinar. We'll just allow a couple of minutes to all the participants to join in and settle down, and then we'll get started with today's discussion, today's presentation. However, in the meantime, I will discuss a few important points that will help you get the maximum benefit from today's webinar. But before I do that, let me quickly have a look at the live stream, just to ensure that the live stream is working fine, because many of you would like to access the recording of today's webinar. And for that, we have to ensure that the live stream is working fine. So just allow me a few seconds to check on that. Perfect. It is working fine. So I mentioned to you that there are a few important points that I wanted to discuss with you. The most important one is how are we going to interact in today's session? Because unlike a typical Zoom meeting wherein you can simply unmute yourself and you can straight away ask your question, that option is not available here because we are connecting through a webinar format. So here you have to use a tool which is called Q&A. So if you are joining through a laptop or desktop, that is where you will find there's an option Q&A down below. You have to use that option to ask your question. And for our interaction, so if there's anything on which I would want to seek your opinion, for that, I'm going to use the chat option, right? So chat is for interaction with me, or you can also interact with the other wonderful business owners who are also joining us here today. And God knows you may be able to find a buyer or supplier in today's session, and it has happened in the past. So why not give it a try? You can also start networking using the chat. And if I need your input, if I need your opinion, if you need your suggestion, that's where I will uh, also ask you to share your inputs using the chat. But for questions, I'll not advise adding the questions in the Q&A, because in the past we have seen there are sometimes starts happening a lot of exchange between the members themselves, and because of that, there's a possibility that your question might get missed out. We don't want that to happen. So for that, it is necessary that you add your question in the Q&A, and I will keep the Q&A panel open on the other monitor, and I'll keep peeking into it. So if it is possible for me to answer that question, or if it is possible for me to include the explanation in my presentation, I'll try to do that. All right. So having said that, it also means that you don't have to wait all the while till the end of the session for asking your question, because sometimes it happens that the question all of a sudden comes to our mind and the very next moment it is out. So the moment the question comes, it is better to just add it to Q&A so that I can answer it and you can get the maximum benefit from today's webinar, the valuable time that you're spending here with us. You get the maximum benefit. All right. So this is where I think I have done enough talking, and let's get started with today's discussion. And this time, have attempted to approach today's webinar slightly differently. Conventionally, I'm not sure how many of you had a chance to attend my previous webinars, but I love to showcase the live solution. I will try to do that a little bit today, but the objective is to give you the maximum benefit from the time that you're investing here. So allow me to start sharing my screen and we will proceed ahead. I can see there are a few participants who have just joined, so let me welcome them as well. And there are participants who are joining us here today from UAE and from Sri Lanka and Philippines. So special welcome to all of you. Sorry for the fumble. I have a bad throat. Let me hide this one, and I can see there is some participants who has raised their hand. If you have a question, please do add that in the Q&A, or if there's any issue that you're facing, add that in the chat so that I can review and respond. I have both the panels open on the other monitor. So I was just welcoming all of you, especially the participants who are joining us here today from various countries such as UAE, Sri Lanka, and Philippines. A very, very warm welcome to all of you. Now, let's get started and let's begin. So the very first thing, as a routine, we always do a introduction about the presenter, and I should do that. So this is a brief introduction about myself. My name is Adnan. I'm Director SME e-commerce growth at GlobalLinker. My functional or my focus area at GlobalLinker is certainly digital commerce. In addition to my functional or my focus area related responsibilities, I also actively work on sharing knowledge or information with business owners on how they can leverage digital and technology to grow their business. Because in today's day and age, there are ample amount of solution or ample number of solutions which are available. But how many of you or how many of us, I'm not an exception to that, how many of us actually know how to use and leverage those solutions which are out there? Not all of us. And that information or knowledge gap is the reason why many businesses, despite having phenomenal product and at a great price, also they are not able to grow, they are not able to scale up. So that's where we try to contribute as much as possible by conducting various webinars and training sessions. And I had the wonderful opportunity of conducting more than 450 such session and connecting, interacting with about 12,000 businesses in various countries. So that was a quick introduction about myself. All right, so let's move on and let's start the webinar. So today's topic is how to complete your online store, and there are various aspects to it. We are going to through each of the aspect, and before moving ahead, because this is a question which I can imagine will be coming to my side, and that question is, can we get this presentation? Yes, certainly. All of you will get a copy of this presentation. Don't worry on that. And if time permitted, in fact, during the session itself, I'll give something which you'll find very useful. All right, so let's move ahead. I can imagine there must be some black boxes appearing on your screen. That is just notification, internet speed notification that I'm seeing. So they'll go away in few seconds. All right, so now, this is where before we get into each of the aspects, I've tried to give you an overview on this slide. So this is where when it comes to completion, which are the aspects or which are the building blocks that you have to focus on, because if you're missing out on any one of them other than the optional one, then you will not be able to complete your online store. And if you're not able to complete your online store, we know the outcome. You'll not be able to grow your business. And that's where this is a bird's eye view or an overview of what all the components are. And let me quickly walk you through. So the most important component is this one, which is the product content. In this, where you can see I've even added a crown icon there. So symbolizes that's the most important one, and that's where we have different elements. I'm not going to take your valuable time there because we are any which way is going to discuss those elements. And then we have the non-product content, which is here. So this is the non-product content, and again we are going to discuss the subsection, so I'll not take your time. So the most important component, product, then non-product component, then you have meta information, then you have integrations, transactability, and various sales channel. So let's move ahead and let's try to understand all of these components and how are you going to ensure the completeness. All right, so let's move ahead. Product content. So this is where I've tried to give you a slightly deeper understanding, because this is the most important piece of information which is there on your website. And if you look at it realistically, this is what which is going to give you business, or this information is going to give you business, because this is the reason why someone will take a decision to connect with you, or someone will take the decision to buy product from you, right? So this is the most crucial piece of information, the most crucial piece of content which is there on your online store. Now, what are the various subcomponents? Let's quickly have a look at that. We are going to spend a little more time here because this is the most important piece of content. So it basically has two types of content. One is visible and second is invisible. I have used a generic terminology like visible and invisible because I don't want it, I didn't want to confuse everyone by using some technical jargons, etc. So visible is something which is visible on the page, and this is where you're seeing a example, this is one of the live online stores that they have added the description in a slightly more beautiful way. That's why I've taken their example. This is actual live store uh, and a live product, actual product that you're looking at. So what are the visible components? And that's where the first one is product title. So product title, what is the best practice? So it should be descriptive. I've seen a lot of users, and I'm not sure how many of you fall into that bucket, but a lot of users, a lot of businesses, when they are uploading their product, they are adding like one word, two-word product title. But the best practice is that it should be descriptive, so it should be long, and it should consist of words which include product name, keywords, features, and specifications of the product. And you should also do some level of keyword research, because a lot of time this is also something which I've experienced, uh, and this is something which I'm telling you based on my interaction. So when I'm interacting with business owners, I typically try to understand how they are going about creating this product content, and that is where another realization is a lot of them don't do a keyword research. And I'm not sure how many of you have also done that when you are creating your product catalog. It is necessary that you do a keyword research, because there may be a scenario that you may have comprehended, or you may have imagined that this keyword is something which our customers are going to use when they are looking for the product. But the reality is that they are not using that keyword, or they are not using that phrase, they are using something else, right? So you may have uploaded the product and given like, let's take a common product example. You have given the name sugar, right? SUGR, sugar. But your customer is looking by the term chini, which is a Hindi name, or a name used to refer to sugar, especially in North India. So in that case, obviously, they'll not be able to find your product or relate to your product. So that is where it is important, and that is just a simple example I gave you to help you understand how important it is to do the keyword research. Now, if you have time, then you should use Google's keyword planner. Again, using it is very, very simple. In many of my previous webinars, I've explained how to use it. Otherwise, you'll find a lot of videos on our YouTube channel or on the internet how to use Google keyword planner. Review those and understand what is the kind of search volume which is there, and especially in the geography that you're trying to target. So, for example, you are wanting to sell your product in US, but the keywords that you're using does not have any traffic there. So in that case, obviously, you will not get any traffic. You will not get any benefit from what all you are doing here, right? So that is where it also has to be geography specific, because certain keywords may have very good traffic in India, may not have good traffic in US. So you have to also analyze that. That's why I was recommending that you should be using Google's keyword planner, which is a very, very credible tool, obviously, because they are the leaders in the search. So that is one thing. If you don't have time, then just use AI. AI will do keyword research in the today's time. AI can also access the internet, so it will also fetch the information from Google and other platforms, and based on that, it will use certain keywords. So if you are able to do keyword research, do it yourself using keyword planner. If you are not able to do that, then use AI, but do some level of keyword research before creating this content. Or if you have already created the content, then update it, but do the keyword research. So this is product title, and what is the best practice? It should be descriptive. It should be long, so that just reading the product title, you have to make the customer's life easy. So just by reading the product title, customers should be able to understand the product, what the product is, to significant level. I'm not saying that they should be having an absolute understanding, like all the information is there in the product, right? Some level of understanding. And if you have to see this in action, just go to a marketplace, go to Amazon or Flipkart, you'll notice like how long product titles are. And that is for a reason, for search engine optimization and for giving good customer experience. All right. So that is the first element that you have to work on to update and complete your online. So that's the first element. The second element is product description, and it has two parts: summary description and long description. So we are looking at this summary description. This is how it is displayed. So summary description should consist of a paragraph, one paragraph, followed by bullet points over the features, benefits, specifications, etc. And it should be minimum 30 words and should not be more than 150 words. And the common issues which I've seen people do is they write very long paragraphs, and obviously, who wants to read an essay when you're trying to do business? Obviously, everyone is tight scheduled. They don't have a lot of time. So unless you are the only seller in the world, they are not going to read your essay. So that is where you have to help the seller, or you have to help the buyer, sorry, for the fumble. You have to help the buyer. And how will you help the buyer? First is the first help that you gave is by creating an engaging product title. So just by reading product title, they were able to understand the product, right? Now, the second help that you are giving or doing for them is by creating the summary description in a way that they are able to absorb it in matter of seconds, like not more than 5 seconds. You should be able to absorb it. So that should be your target. So that's why just one paragraph followed by bullet point, because bullet points are easier to read, go through, and absorb. So that is how you're helping the buyer getting more engaged and becoming more interested, and obviously moving to the next step. That is where they want to connect with you or buy your product. Now, for that, you have to give them a little more assistance, and for that, the long description comes into picture. Now, long description's role is to describe that product, that product's feature in detail, right? So on the summary description, we created a brief summary uh, so that without spending a lot of time and energy, a buyer can review it and they can understand the product. In the long description, you are elaborating it, you are adding more information. So that is where the customer is wanting to understand more about the product. They want to understand the details, and that is where the long description comes. So the best practice, and it is also written in the presentation, that it should be around 100 words and should consist of a detailed description of the product, including the relevant keywords. And even in the summary description, you should include the keywords, because I have spoken so much about the keywords in the product title explanation. That's why I didn't include in the summary description, but the keywords should be included in the product title. They should be included in the summary description. They should be included in the long description as well. So this is the visible side of the product content. What is the invisible side? So the invisible side consists of two things. One is metadata. Now, how many in the audience are familiar with this thing, metadata? Although it is written on the screen, but if you are familiar, just let me know in the chat that you are familiar and you have added also. I'm waiting for your inputs. You can just type yes, we are familiar with metadata. I am surprised that I'm not seeing any response. I was expecting a few at least. Yeah. Now I can see there are a few who have started chatting. So wonderful. So metadata is basically an information which is used for two things. One is when you go to Google and you search for something to show the results. In fact, let me show you. I will switch the tab. I'll take you to the browser, and this is where we have the browser. And if I search for buy shoes, I'll come to a search page, and here let's ignore the ads. Let's take the Nike example. So what you're seeing in the blue, this is the meta title. And what you're seeing, the text which you are seeing here, this is the meta description. Ignore these numbers, etc. Those are coming because I'm using a plugin. But this is the meta title and this is meta description. Now, functionally or from a layman's perspective, you understand now what is the use of meta title and description. They are not displayed on the website's front end. So if I go to that page, a product page, and let's open the same page which we are seeing there very quickly. Right? So the meta information is not visible here, but if we go to the code of the page, here you will see the meta information. So all that is here. So it stays at the back end or it stays in the code, but it is used here. So whenever a search is happening and your product is relevant, it will start appearing here. So this is how it is displayed. But fundamentally, if you have to understand the importance of the meta information is, let's take a common example, a common life example. I believe all of us have been to a chemist or the medicine shop at least once or twice in our lives. Now, when you go to a medicine shop, you will notice that the layout is quite typical and quite exclusive. Is there in the medical store? They have a lot of cupboards or shelves all across, and all these shelves have small boxes in which the medicine store owner or the chemist keeps the medicine, right? So they have a lot of shelves, and in each shelf there's a box. In the box they have kept the medicine. Now, as a individual, if you go to the chemist shop or the medicine shop and you ask that person, give me a strip of paracetamol. So what will that person do? That person will go to a particular shelf, and in that shelf, they'll pick out a particular box, open that box, and take out that strip of paracetamol, right? That's what they will do. Now, imagine that that chemist shop is Google or any search engine, and they have various places on the server, and that is where they will be putting your information. So tomorrow, if someone comes asking for information related to your product, then if this information is not accurate, then your information or your web page information, your website information may not be put in the right box. And if it is not in the right box, then it will not be displayed as a search result and it may not rank. Right? So that is why it is important for us to help search in showing our web pages in the results and obviously rank them higher as well. So the best practices related to the meta title and description are written here, which is meta title should be 60 words and meta description should be 155 words. Now, obvious question which may be coming to your mind, how can we generate it? Because we are not a search engine optimization expert. So how can we generate it? You can easily generate it using ChatGPT or Gemini. In fact, I would recommend that instead of spending your valuable time and energy, unless you have a deep interest in becoming a search engine optimization expert, that is a different case. In that case, I will not stop you. But otherwise, it is not sensible to spend a lot of time and energy in gaining an expertise in this. You can simply ask AI and AI tools, whether it is ChatGPT or Gemini, any tool you can use, and it will be able to create the meta information very, very quickly. In fact, I think last week only I did a webinar where I explained how you can use AI tools. And one of the use case which I explained was related to metadata. So if you want to access that information, just go to YouTube, search for GlobalLinker. In my name tag, you must be seeing GlobalLinker. Search for that, and that's where you will find the webinar recording, and you can access that. The second piece of invisible information which is there and which you have to work on, and that is the image alt text. Image alt text is basically a description of the image, what this image is. You have to basically describe the image so that if a visually impaired person is searching for the product and they use a device that describes the image, so in that case, this will help. Or machines can't access the image or they can't decipher the image. And for that also, this information helps, especially with the image search, etc. happening. So that is another piece of information that you should focus on. And again, there are a lot of AI tools and non-AI tools which are available, using which you can easily generate the image or text. All right. So this is all related to the product update. Now, related to this, sometime people have asked me when I was explaining in my previous webinars that these are the elements that you have to update. So what is the easiest way to update all this? Imagine that you have already uploaded the product. If you haven't uploaded the product, then when you're uploading the product, you have to be considerate of all these suggestions which I've shared. But if you have already uploaded the products and you have many, many products, you don't have like one or two, you have hundreds of them. So how can you very, very quickly update them? Obviously, you will have to create the content, but how can you update them? So updating can be done very quickly. I will take you back to the other browser tab. And here, if you go to the product management interface, that is where you will see there is an option which says download product. This is the option I'm referring to, download product. If you download this file's basic or the core use of this file is to allow users to update the product in bulk. So you download this file, it will be an Excel file with different columns. So you can update the product title, description, long description, or meta information, and very, very easily, even in matter of minutes. Let me try to download and show you the file. All right. So very quickly, but if you are yet to upload the product, then you can use the add to cart or the bulk upload, add product or the bulk upload option to update the product content. It will take a few seconds to get downloaded. So let's go to the presentation and we'll come back to that because I wanted to show you something. Now, in this presentation, something different which I have done is I have also embedded or provided tutorial videos. So this is where in the next slide or the subsequent slide, you will find all the relevant tutorial videos. So if you want to understand how to upload the products, this is where you have the video. If you want to understand how to upload them in bulk, you have the video, how to set up the navigation if you want to create the filters, etc. All the information is available to you. So this is where now the file is downloaded. Let's quickly have a look at the file and we'll go back. So this is related to that question that we have multiple products and we want to update them. How can we very quickly update them? So let's do a word wrap. So this is the file, and here you will notice there are multiple columns. The first one is product ID, which is not relevant to you. Don't make any changes to them. Then you have product title, which is the name of the product. Then you have product code. You can ignore that and don't make changes to that as well. Then you have product summary. You have product description. You can change that. And then if you want to add a brand, you can add that. Then we have meta title description and keyword. This is for the meta update. The relevant ones are, or important ones are meta title and description. So you can add the information into this Excel file, save this file, go back to the seller panel, click on update product, upload this file, and all your products will get updated in bulk. Very simple, very easy, and that's how you'll be able to update. And if you are yet to upload, then before uploading, just be conscious of the best practices so that you have the best product and you're actually able to get some results out of it. All right. So this, we are obviously not going to play these videos, so I will just quickly skip them. Next section is the non-product content. So non-product content is basically information which is not related to the products, but related to your business. And again, it can be broken down into 4 subsets. What are those 4 subsets? The first one is the business information section or the business information pages. So you can create a number of pages about your business, for example, about us, company profile, our team, our story, mission, vision, etc. So there are n number of pages that you can create, right? Now, how can you create these pages is something which I'm going to explain, and there's a tutorial video is also available. But let's understand, or let's quickly go through all the subsections, and then we'll go to the seller panel and then understand from where you can update these. Then we have policy pages. So policy pages are terms and condition, privacy policy, shipping policy, return, refund, and cancellation policy. Now, if you are a B2B seller, you are just generating or receiving inquiries on your website. In that case, only terms and condition and privacy policy are relevant to you. But if you are someone who is accepting orders, in that case, all the four policies are relevant to you. And we have already created these policies and added them to your online store. You have to basically review them, understand if any changes are required, and then activate them. All right. Then we have the user-generated content, which is basically product reviews, testimonial, case studies. If you already don't have them, then you should actively work on getting customer reviews, getting testimonials, or if you're working with B2B clients, try to create case studies that how you helped those businesses. And then we have blog articles. So blog articles are a very powerful tool, even in today's day and age, that can help you improve engagement on your website and improve the search ranking, because you have a lot of other content also available, which is relevant to your business. And obviously, these types of content not only increase the traffic, they also increase the average time spent by the customer on the website. And when search engines see that the customers are spending more time, that means this website is important. Let's give it more ranking. Let's improve the ranking. Let's push them up. So that is where also they contribute. Now, sometime in my previous webinars, people have asked that what type of blog articles should we create? So you can create blog articles on the problems and how your products can solve those problems or help solve those problems. General situation and situational matters. So, for example, it is summer, and if you have a product that can help, or you know some remedies that can help the customers with summer, then you can share. So those are general and situational matters on which you can create blog articles, and then interesting topics that may or may not be related to your business. So, for example, you may be knowing a payment gateway platform called Razorpay, right? They're quite popular platform. Now, when Razorpay wanted to promote themselves online, there's hardly anyone, or there are hardly people who are actively looking for payment gateways. But they knew that their audience is what? Entrepreneurs. And those entrepreneurs have various pain points also. For example, they have a pain point related to your salary disbursal or HRMS, or they have pain points related to finance, etc. So they started creating content around the pain points which were there for their customer. Although they don't provide that service, but they started creating content around that. They started sharing tips, etc. And through that, they were able to generate a lot of traffic and recognition for themselves, and obviously grew their business. So that is also important. So it does not have to be always product, product, product. You can even share general knowledge because you have an expertise, or you have some level of knowledge or information about that particular topic, and you can share the inputs for that as well. Now, similar to the previous topic, I have added the tutorial content here. That is how to enable policy pages, how to enable or create content pages, and how to create blog articles. But very quickly, I'll show you from where you can do that on the seller panel. So if we switch the screen and if we click on My Store, and here you have pages, so you have to just go there. And here you'll notice these are the policy pages. Again, they will be in a deactivated state. So this tick will be crossed. I will show you how they will be. So it will be in this type of scenario, or this is how you will find them. So you are expected to go click on edit, go review the content, and if you want to make any changes to it, you're more than welcome to do that. This is your online store. You'll be defining the policies. Once you are done updating the content or reviewing the content, click on save and turn the status on, click on save, and the policy page will get enabled. Don't forget to click on show in the footer, otherwise they'll not appear. So these are the policy pages which are pre-existing. If you are not accepting orders on your online store, so you don't have add to cart and buy now, in that case, you have to just enable the top two terms and condition and privacy policy. If you are accepting orders on your online store, in that case, you have to enable all four types of policy pages or all the four policy pages, return, refund, shipping policy, etc. Now, if you have to create a content page, you can simply click on add page and you can add the title, you can add the description. And in addition to not description, just text content. In addition to text content, you can also add images. You can also add video. In fact, I'll show you a very impressive about us page which I saw some time back. So I'll try to show you. So this is a about us page on the created on a store created on the platform. And here you will notice that in addition to the text content, they have added visuals, which has made this page look very engaging and very interesting, right? You'll agree. In addition to images, they have also added a video. So if someone is interested in video, they can also review, right? So this is a suggestion I wanted to share with you. And as I mentioned, I've added the tutorial links here. These are all tutorial videos and you can review them at a later point in time. Now we have the next section, which is the meta content. So where all meta content has to be updated. So the meta content has to be updated across 5 places. The first one is your home page. Then you have your category listing page or your navigation. And then you have your product page, which we have already discussed. Then you have your content pages like about us or even terms and condition. And lastly, you have your blog pages. So even in the blogs, you have to update the content. So because Meta is updated along with whenever you're uploading your products or you're setting up the navigation. So there is no specific video. I'll try to create a specific video around the Meta update also, but I'll very quickly show you from the various places where you have to go and update the Meta homepage category pages. Very, very quickly, I'll show you. So I'm going to take you to the seller panel back again, and we will start with the homepage. So if you have to add the meta content on the homepage, then in the left navigation, you have to click on store settings and then store details. And on this tab, the store details tab, you have to scroll down and this is where you'll see page title, which is the meta title, and you have meta description. You can ignore meta keywords because keywords are not used by search engines anymore for ranking. So that can be ignored. So title, and this is the place where you have to add the meta description. And as I mentioned earlier, but I'm still repeating it, that the best solution that you have is to use AI, and AI will create this information very, very easily, very quickly for you in matter of seconds also. So that is the first place. The second place is your navigation. So for navigation, you have to click on My Store and you have to click on Navigation, which will open the navigation management interface. And here for each navigation element, now in case you are getting confused, what is navigation? So all these options that we see on the top of the website, like company, products, contact us, and all these drop downs, these are navigation. So you can create them from here. We have also embedded a video here, but the point that we are trying to understand is how to add meta information. So if you click on edit, this overlay will open up and you scroll down, that's where you'll see meta title, keyword, and description. Again, you have to add a meta title and description here. You have to update it across each navigation element. So that is related to navigation. Then we have product. So for product, we have already discussed the best solution is using the Excel file. So this is where you'll find meta title and description. Just update the information in the Excel file, upload the Excel file, or you can do that manually also. I'll quickly take you to the product management interface and show you. So for an existing product, you have to just click on edit. which will open the product edit interface. Now here, if you scroll down, this is where you have meta title, which is added for this particular product, meta title, and this is where you have meta description. So you have to add them here. So this is for the product. So we have discussed homepage, we have discussed category page, which is the navigation, and then we have discussed about the product. Now we have to discuss about the pages and blog, and for that we have to go to My Store and we have to click on pages. And here to add the meta content, you have to click on edit, and you will notice if you scroll down a little bit, you'll notice meta title and description. So here you have to update it. And for blogs, you have to scroll further down in the My Store drop down, and that's where you'll see the blog options. You have to click on blog. And for each blog, you have that option. So I'll just click on edit. These are basically dummy blogs that I've added. But if we come here, this is where you'll notice we have SEO title, which is the meta title and meta description. So that is how you'll be able to do the meta content update on your online store. Next is integration. So integrations are various tools that you must integrate with your website, because otherwise you will not know that how many people came to your website, what did they do on the website, how much time did they spend, which products did they interacted with. You will be absolutely blank. So it is almost like you have a showroom, people are coming, they are reviewing the product. It is a totally automated store, and you don't know how many people came, which product did they saw, what did they do in the store. You are absolutely clueless of that without these integration. You can imagine the scenario, how dangerous that scenario is. So what are the integrations I'm recommending that you must have on your online store? Otherwise, your store is incomplete. I'm not recommending a lot of integrations, and most of them are from Google itself. The first one is Google Analytics, which is a free tool from Google. It helps you understand the traffic dynamics of your online store, how many people came from, where did they came, where did they go, how much time they spent, bounce rate, etc. So there are a number of important information that you can understand. In fact, you can even do a funnel analysis and understand like how many people are coming in, how many are checking out, where the drop-offs are happening, and you can work on fixing the drop-offs. You can work on fixing the bottlenecks. So very useful tool, Google Analytics. Every website must have it. The second tool is Google Tag Manager. So Google Tag Manager is basically a tool that helps tags and tracking codes, etc. So prior to Google Tag Manager, what was happening for any tool, whether it is from Meta or Google or even a third-party tool, if you wanted to use that tool, you have to add their code onto the website. Now, what those codes were doing was to make the website slow. So whenever the page is loading, there were a number of other codes also which were loading, and that was making the website slow. Now, with Google Tag Manager, what is happening? This is one single plugin that you have done onto the website. Now, all the tools that you're using, whether it is from Microsoft or whether it is from Google or even a third-party tool like Hotjar, you're using, you can simply use that using Tag Manager. You don't have to add any code, etc. Nothing. All that tracking code management is done through Tag Manager. Very useful tool which you must integrate because without Tag Manager, you'll not be able to use Analytics or Microsoft Clarity. The next tool and very, very important one is Google Search Console. So the Search Console is basically a tool which helps you understand how your website is performing on the search on Google. If people are coming and searching, how it is performing, how many pages are indexed, and what are the issues, etc. So all that information is provided by the Search Console. And then we have the last one, which is not the last one, Google Merchant Center. So this is Google Shopping. This integration can also be done very, very easily, very quickly. You have an XML file. You have to just provide the XML file to the Google and do a little bit of setup. And then using Google Merchant Center, you will be able to showcase your products. If you are into B2C, it is must for you. If you haven't done, why you haven't done, you should be already there. This is Google Shopping. So people searching, I think we have the Google open here, right? So here, if we go up, the results, these were ads basically, but if we come here, there's a shopping tab, and that is where These are again ads. The top ones are ads, and here we have, so all these are listings. Your products will start appearing here, and you can even show inquiry products here. Obviously, they will not have conversions, but you'll be able to show. So that is Google Merchant Center. And lastly, you have Microsoft Clarity. So Microsoft Clarity is basically like a camera that you have on the website, recording or keeping a secret recording of every action the user is taking on the website. So you can see how the people are coming, where they are clicking, how they are moving ahead through the checkout process, where they are getting stuck, or if they have to do multiple up and down scrolls. So all that is visible and easily accessible. You can even do a heat map analysis to understand where the persons are clicking. And there are a lot of time very wonderful information that you can extract out of this. So, for example, with one of our users, we did the uh, heat map analysis, and we realized that a lot of users on their websites were going to a particular section on the homepage and clicking on it and then dropping off. Now, what was happening was they were going to that particular banner and clicking on it, but that banner was unfortunately not linked. The hyperlink was not added. And because of that, they were just coming there, and when nothing was opening up, they were simply dropping off. By fixing that, was just adding a hyperlink, they were able to improve the conversion, because these users were actually looking for a particular solution. And obviously, everyone is in a hurry, especially on the internet. So they want to get the results as soon as possible. And if you have a banner on the homepage and you're not linking it, obviously you will not be uh, getting the conversions. But that information, right, without reviewing the Microsoft Clarity, we couldn't understand that this silly mistake can also cause the conversions. But because we were reviewing the recordings on Microsoft Clarity, that's where we realized that person is going there and clicking and nothing is happening. There's something wrong with that banner. And then we understood that although ideally uh, it should have been flagged in the review that is done typically before the website is considered as complete. But sometime accidentally things get overlooked. So that is why it is again an essential tool which you should be integrating. Now, I haven't added tutorials related to the integrations because we are in process of creating updated tutorial, because a lot of setup has changed of late, both at Google's end and our end as well. So we will be creating fresh tutorial videos, and I'll try to add them in this presentation as well. Uh, or they'll be available on our YouTube channel. Next is transactability. So transactability basically consists of, and this is relevant to B2C sellers. So if you want to receive orders on your online store, you want people to come to your website and place orders. You want them to do online shopping on your website, then it is relevant. If you are a B2B seller, it is not relevant. So it has two parts: logistic and payment. So firstly, about logistics. So logistic basically includes courier activation, shipping zone setup, and warehouse setup. So courier activation is basically you're signing up with a courier operator and subscribing to their service. Because unless you have a courier uh, service provider subscription, you'll not be obviously able to deliver the products to the customer. So that is obviously the first step. Then we have shipping zone setup. So shipping zone is basically a feature which allows you to charge delivery fee from the customers, and from where people should be placing order. And if you don't want orders to be placed from some part of the world, or if you want orders to be placed only from a specific geography, all that can be managed through shipping zone. But the primary use of shipping zone is to define rules for charging delivery fee from the customers. For example, you can even charge differentiated delivery fees. So if the customer is ordering from Delhi, then X is charged. If they're ordering from Mumbai, then Y is charged. So that is done using the shipping zone. So if they're ordering from UAE, then you charge something else. If they're ordering from, let's say, uh, France, then you charge something else. So that is done using shipping zone. Then we have warehouse setup. So warehouse is again relevant only to the users who have multiple warehouses, or they have multiple establishment from where they would want to get the courier pickups done. So, for example, they have a factory, they have a warehouse, and sometimes the item is available in factory, sometimes it is available in the warehouse. So you want that flexibility that depending where the item is available, I can schedule the pickup. So the sometime the courier person will come in the factory, sometime they'll come to the warehouse, depending on where the product is. So for that, this warehouse feature is used. Now coming to the payment side, that's where you have payment gateway activation. The payment gateway activation should be initiated once your website is complete. If it is not complete and you're initiating payment gateway activation, it will be rejected. And then you have to go through that process once again, and that will be a waste of your valuable time. So please ensure that once your website is complete, then only you initiate the payment gateway activation process. Cash on delivery is also something which is generally used by sellers, but before activating cash on delivery, please ensure that you have done the courier activation. That is how you will be able to receive the payment back from the customers. Now, related to transactability here, instead of videos, you will notice that I've added links. So this is for payment activation playlist, and this is for logistic activation playlist, because there were a number of videos related to payment activation and logistic activation, and I can't accommodate all of them on one single slide. So what I've done is I've created two separate playlists. This is for payment activation and this is for logistic activation. So you can review the videos using these playlists. Moving on, the last element that we have related to store completeness is your sales channels. There are broadly, other than your online store, there are broadly three sales channels that you have. The first one is GlobalLinker Marketplace, which is a cross-border B2B marketplace. Currently, we are focused in India, but very soon we will be expanding it to other countries and sellers as well as buyers from other countries. Buyers from other countries are already accessing GlobalLinker Marketplace, but very soon sellers from other countries will also be listed. Then we have Indian Business Portal, which we have created in collaboration with a government entity called Federation of All India Export Organization, a premier export promotion body. So if you're an exporter, this is the platform where you should be present. And then we have ONDC, which is for B2C sellers. It is an open network for digital commerce. So if you want to sell your products and expand the visibility as well as orders of your product, in that case, you should be listing on ONDC. How you can list on GlobalLinker Marketplace, or how you can list on ONDC, or how you can list on Indian Business Portal, all the tutorial videos are embedded in the presentation, and you will certainly get the copy of the presentation. So this is where I will turn off the screen share and we will break into the question answer round. So please do add. I can't see any question in the Q&A. So please do add your question. And I'm going to, in the meantime, while you are adding your question, I'm going to share my contact details. And I'll also share the contact details of our help desk. So if any one of you faces any difficulty, you can easily reach out to our help desk and we can then help you. So allow me few seconds to do that. I have to just take out the information and share it with you. I had accidentally closed that window, so I'm just very quickly opening it back again. And I will share the information with you. I can see one question in the Q&A. In fact, the second one has also come. The first question is related to the cost, and it is absolutely free as a DIY solution. You can create it absolutely free. There are certain premium features which are there. So if you want to use those premium features only, then you'll have to subscribe. But all this which I explained in today's video, and in fact, uh, one of the stores which I showed, it is also on the basic package. So you'll be able to create a functional online store and utilize it to grow your business absolutely free without investing anything. Next question is from Vishal, and his question is that they want to list the product on Indian Business Portal, but they are not able to list the products. Their products are primarily inquiry product, but the pricing is displayed. So let me share my screen very quickly, although this is a simple thing. And Vishal, whenever you face this kind of difficulty, please do feel free to reach out to our help desk. I'm going to start sharing my screen for a few moments so that I can explain how you can very easily do that. So my screen is visible to everyone. I'm taking you back to the product management interface, and I'm explaining or trying to answer Vishal's question that how can I hide price for the products for the inquiry product. Now let's take this first product as an example. I want to hide the price. So there are two things that I have to do. The first is I click on edit and I scroll down all the way to the bottom. This is where you'll see product type, checkout and inquiry. So if it is checkout, you have to uncheck it and you have to just select inquiry. Or if both of them are ticked, then just deselect checkout and then click on save. So this is the first step that you have to do. And second is you have to go to price and variant and then click on this pencil shaped icon. And here you will see there is this option which is do not show price. In my case, it is already ticked. But in your case, to hide the price, you have to click here, do not show price, and then again scroll down and click on save. That's how you'll be able to do that manually. Now, if you have hundreds of products, that will take you a very long time. So you can do that quickly as well. So this is the file which we downloaded earlier. It can be downloaded from the seller panel. So if you go to the product management interface and click on download product, which you can see here. So you click here, which will download this file. Now in this file, you will see there is this option which says product type. You have to ensure that the product type is inquiry, and in the next column, which is show price, you have to type no. So product type should be inquiry, and in the show price column, it should be no, N-O, no, capital. Copy paste it to all the rows and then save the file, come back here and click on update product. And once you are done, please don't forget to submit the request to list on IBP once again. Otherwise, unless you submit the request, the operations team will not know and they may not review your request. So please do submit the request once you have made this change. So the next question is from Madhurima and wants to understand what is the benefit for a UAE company. So in today's day and age, it does not matter whether you're situated in UAE or whether you're situated in India. The business is happening on the internet. Now, with this kind of a solution, and I'm not sure if you have a website, but to operate these kind of websites, there are multiple cost heads which are associated. For example, you have to worry about hosting, you have to worry about SSL, you have to worry about getting the updates done on the website, etc. Now, all that is taken care on the platform and it is available to you absolutely free from a finance point of view. That makes a lot of sense because you're getting everything absolutely free. And very soon we'll be opening up the GlobalLinker marketplace for Dubai as well, for the UAE as well. So that is where you'll be able to showcase your offering or review the offering from business owners from various countries very, very easily. So there are multiple benefits which you can extract from the website that you are going to create. Now, this website can help you get orders from your customers, B2C customers. Uh, you can get orders if you are into B2B. That is where you can generate inquiries. Now, in addition to that, there are a lot of other capabilities which are inbuilt onto the platform. So if there's a distribution network or if there are B2B buyers who regularly buy from you, so that is where the entire B2B buying can be automated. And digitized using the supply chain feature which we have on the online store. So all the bulk buyers, they don't have to call up your sales team, etc. They can simply log in and they can place an order. So there are number of benefits which you will get by creating an online store and listing, and obviously access to all the knowledge and information from our side. Again, absolutely free. I hope that answers the question. Next question is from Mr. Vikas, wants to understand, will you send a recording of today's session? Yes, absolutely. We will do that. And I will also include the link to this presentation, which I used in today's session. So that was the last question I had in the chat. Let's in the Q&A. Let's quickly have a look at the chat as well. So the next question, which I can see in the comment, is from Vivek. So Vivek, I think there's a difference of understanding that you have related to GlobalLinker, because we cater to a very wide spectrum of businesses. So it is not like any business is left out. So as long as you're a business owner, GlobalLinker is relevant to you, and you will be able to digitize yourself. You'll be able to connect with business owners from various countries, and you will be able to participate in marketplace for your own sourcing, or you can access the requirements from various buyers, domestic and international as well. So it has a tremendous relevance and importance for any type of business, irrespective of what category, what subcategory, or what type of niche product they are offering. Next question is from Vikas. Wants to understand how to get the recording. So we will be emailing the recording of today's session to everyone. In addition to that, if you want to review it yourself, very simple, go to YouTube, search for GlobalLinker, which you can see in my name tag also, and then you'll find the recording of today's session. We have a live videos playlist. There you'll find the recording. Next question is from Devendra. And so, Devendra, I'm not sure where you registered. If you're saying you created an online store and then try to enable ONDC, ONDC basically, and this is something which I'm sharing for everyone's reference. So, ONDC, first of all, a lot of people perceive ONDC to be a platform. ONDC is not a platform. ONDC is a network which connects buyers and buyer and seller applications. So there are different buyer applications like Paytm or My Store, etc., etc. And there are different various seller applications. GlobalLinker is a seller application, also a seller application. So you are either joining a buyer application or you are either joining a seller application. And through that, you are showcasing your offering. And ONDC at the moment is primarily focused on B2C. So if you want to list your product on ONDC, then you have to be firstly joining a seller application and uploading your listing, uploading your product, and those products will, once approved, they will become visible on the ONDC buyer applications, and then the buyers on the buyer's application will see those products and they will start making the purchases, etc. Now, I am not sure who called you and quoted 47,000 for leads and inquiries. ONDC is a government initiative, but they don't charge anything. And the buyer application or any seller application, buyer application basically charges their own buyer finder fee, which they take from the buyer themselves. And for the seller application, if you're listing with us, we don't charge anything. We don't even charge a transaction fee. Some seller application charge a 3 to 5% transaction fee, or even more in certain categories, but we don't charge any transaction fee. So if you are interested in listing on ONDC, I will encourage that you should list through GlobalLinker. You will be able to do the business at zero cost. And we have our team. So if you need any help or assistance, you can reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to help you in showcasing your products on ONDC. I hope that answers the question. So any other question from any other participants before we close the session for today? Uh, the question, another question I can see in the Q&A, it is from Anik PS. So Anik, why are you even getting the website made when you have the GlobalLinker solution available, which is available absolutely free of cost, and you will be able to get a much more powerful solution at zero cost. So you should certainly consider GlobalLinker for your website development. And if I was in your place, I'm not saying that I am associated with GlobalLinker. That's why I am promoting. If I was in your place, I would have done the same thing. Why so? Because look at it. If you're using a WordPress or if you're using any other platform, there are multiple cost heads associated, right? You have to worry about hosting. You have to worry about domain renewals. You have to worry about AMCs. And unfortunately, with these kinds of setups, there are newer versions coming every few years. And your website, if it is running on an older version, it becomes prone to hacking attacks, etc. Basically you're forced to upgrade to a newer version. So every few years you end up spending in recreating a website. Whereas with a SaaS-based platform like GlobalLinker, it keeps evolving every minute. So if there are newer things coming, newer design elements, newer ways of engagement, all that is being made available to you real time as it evolves, and also absolutely free of cost. So that is where I would have obviously chosen GlobalLinker. And one is for the financial benefits, and second is the peace of mind that you will get. Now, if you need help, because we also provide website development services, because there are users who are either short of time and they're not able to spend time in learning all the yeah, aspects related to website setup and development, and they're not able to do that, or because of paucity of time. So we do provide that service. So if you are interested, you can explore that service. And I will also add the link here very quickly for everyone's reference. So this service, for everyone's reference, is a website development service that we provide. So if any one of you is interested in availing this service, it is a standard offering. Sorry, just a quick second. But in two packages are available. One is a basic package. So basic package is if you want help with the product upload, you don't want a very nice looking website. So in that case, you can consider basic package. And the other package is the ultimate package, which is where you'll get a beautiful looking website. So I will share the link. In fact, I will quickly do a screen share and show it to you as well. I will be adding the link in the chat. Just allow me a couple of moments. So I've started the screen share once again. This is our offer. I'll share the link and I will also add the link in the recording of the video. So basically there are two packages that we have with respect to the website setup or the online store setup. One is the basic package, which basically includes product upload. There are no themes. It will be on a very basic theme. I would recommend considering this package. This is where you will get 50 products and you'll get a fully fledged, developed and designed online store. So you can consider the package. I will share the link to these packages and you can consider exploring them. Let me add the link in the chat for everyone's. And I've also shared my contact details. So if you need any clarification, if you need any help, please do feel free to reach out to me. I'm sharing my email ID once again, so you can drop me an email if you need any help. Next question is again from Anik PS. This is the package also. We do a meta update, the basic meta update, which is also called on page. So on page is included, but other than that, the search engine optimization activity, which is done by a search engine expert, that is not included. But the meta update is included in the package. All right, so perfect. I'll close the webinar now. Thank you everyone for taking out your time and participating in the session. Have a wonderful evening ahead.